Good morning and welcome to the allotment. A quick catch-up video this morning just to show you what's been going on. So without further ado, I'll turn the camera around and just share with you some of the good things and some of the bad things. This is the elephant garlic and the winter onions are growing away well. That's a nice bit of sunshine just as I start. And the normal garlic has really started to come through, so that's the positives. If we look at the negatives now, if you remember from the previous video, in this bottom bed I planted a lot of brassicas. So I planted some cauliflowers, Boris. I've still got 3 cauliflowers coming on well. Just share with you something else as well. This is where the Britain's breakfast tomatoes were, and a lot of them were dropping off and they've all seeded, so those will have to be pulled out. I've got some other cauliflowers here. They're not doing so well, but if we look at the calabrese, then there is one plant there, there's another one, and most of them have met this fate here, so they've been eaten away. And I've seen rat droppings in the tunnel as well, so it's the rats that have come in and had the calabrese, and they've pretty much destroyed the whole row. I'm leaving these in and hopefully something will come of them, but I don't know, not too much hope. So it may be come spring I'll get some cauliflowers, but not much else. I can't believe that as I've just switched on the camera the sunshine has come out, but we've had a bit of a mixed morning down here this morning. If I just go outside and show you some of the brassicas we've got growing outside. Not sure if you can see, I'll move along and just lift the netting. So we have got, be careful don't get the camera wet, so we've got some calabrese plants here and we've got some cauliflowers in here as well. It does need weeding, but I'm tempted to just leave it as it is. Okay, I just put the cover back down on those, so hopefully between the 2 lots I might get something early spring from one of those plantings. Just have a wander over to this other part of the plot. I'm not sure how well you can see these on camera, but I've got some sprouts, but we've had some strong winds and it's done a bit of damage, but we should have sprouts for Christmas, which is always the goal. But we've had a frost, so they should taste even better. Speaking of which, okay, the main job I've got to do today is to lift some parsnips for tea. I will just flick the camera around and show you this plot. So if you remember, we had got some grass going through. I've dealt with all of that and recovered the beds. And lots of the other beds, if you have a quick walk through, are covered, ready for winter and planting in early spring. There were 2 other beds where the weeds were coming up, so this morning I've gone through those. That's this one and this one, and I've took most of the weeds up and recovered them with some of the straw. I've still got another couple of beds to do like that. Okay, so we'll wander up and we'll get those parsnips out the ground. I've already lifted 2 parsnips. They weren't particularly good ones, so they were still edible, although they didn't have the long tapering roots. They were more spherical. But we'll see what we get today. I'll just set the camera up and then we'll get those out. Okay, let's get on with lifting these parsnips. As I said, I've lifted a couple. I'm going to lift a couple more now. So put my dirty gloves on. These should taste nice because they've had a bit of frost. Okay, a bit like the others I've lifted. I think it's a sign of the weather that we had earlier in the year where it's very dry. So we've got a large bulb at the top, and then the roots haven't really gone down searching for the moisture. Perhaps we didn't water them enough, so the water stayed at the top of the ground when we have watered, and we haven't got the nice long parsnips. So, but there's plenty on there for two of us to get a meal off, so I'll just leave the one today. Okay, so all that remains for me to do today is to lock up the polytunnel and get back. Although it's been nice and sunny, it's still a bit chilly, which is what you need to expect this time of year in November. But I've got some food. We've got lots of potatoes still left that we harvested earlier in the year. We've got lots of veg in the freezers, and we've got a parsnip to add to it. So that's all for now, just a short video. Hopefully I'll do another one soon. Bye for now.